Creativity is a child's own unique response to what they see, hear, feel and experience. That response in our youngest children is non-verbal and could involve the use of materials or a physical response, such as swaying to the music or responding with a smile. As children develop creativity, they become able to apply their imagination, playing with ideas and pretending. Imagination is increasingly expressed verbally as children articulate their thoughts and ideas, playing roles and engaging in scenarios. Imagination and creativity, we really start from the point that children can't go wrong, that we are going to think about how they interact with the materials and resources and the environment we offer.
The language that you use as well, isn't it, like, and how you encourage that. So like if a child's got, say, and using the block and they present it to you in a certain way, it's like you try not to say, what is it, but like, oh, that's interesting,
yeah,
or you sort of like, so often like the child might be using material that you have seen how it's used before, but then they'll come up with a completely different idea or way of combining it all.
So in thinking about imagination and creativity, one of the key things is to provide a richly resourced environment that's really well planned, that's based on the things your children will be interested in, but also in providing them perhaps with a range of materials and things that they might not have met before.
The materials might look like old tubes or pieces of cardboard or recycled materials, but it's well considered, like how the choice of those materials and like how the space is resourced. All the time it's in response to the child's interests or how they've interacted with the material previously.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because we're talking about variety and richly resourced, but we don't always mean having lots of things everywhere. We mean, changing the offer. Within imagination creativity, it's really the role of music and art, which is huge, because it underpins so much of what we do. And I suppose beginning that thought with the idea of the value really of bringing the work of artists into early year settings, and how inspiring and inspirational that can be for young children. And I know we had the example of looking at the work that Anthony Gormley did with the little clay dog that's been supported sort of online across lots of settings, and thought our children would all produce these little clay dogs, and actually their interest was the fact that he'd actually just pulled it. They looked at the pictures that he'd sent of how he'd made that clay dog, and they'd pulled it from one piece, which is not how they use clay. They often fix it, don't they? Actually, as a starting point to talk about a grown-up who does this work, made it incredibly valuable for them.
Having adults in as well to play, like when we had a child's mum in, and she was the flautist, and she just opened the doors. It was a beautiful day, it was summer term, and we'd been responding to different types of music, and she came in and played a variety of different music, and she just couldn't believe the way the children listened, for one, and would actually just sit and listen to her, and the way they were moved. And like you were saying earlier, they were in different parts of the nursery, and there was this just absolutely beautiful sound of the flute coming out from in the studio.
Young children are full of possibilities and will respond creatively to experiences if we offer them time and space to do so. Imagination is flexible and playful and needs to be valued.
Children cannot go wrong because we are interested in their unique responses. The way in which we as adults notice and respond to their creativity determines how they develop their work further. Adults can encourage children to deepen their experiences and maintain their focus and interest.
A rich offer of art and music will inspire young children. They will recognise and respond to the work of artists and often innately understand it. They may also have emotional and personal responses to music, including live music when possible. It is important that young children see adults modelling creativity.